Hey Internet, Eric here, and as you can see, I am not here alone. I am here with honestly a wrestler that I've come to be a big fan of in the last 2 to 3 years. Even though my daughter hates his fucking guts, I am here with James Fury. James, thank you so much for sitting down and shooting the shit with me for an hour or so. Give me some of your personal time. I really appreciate it.
Hey man, you made this happen. Thank you. This is your platform. Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it. It doesn't matter if you have 500 subscribers, 1,000, five. I'm here. Thank you for your time.
No, I really appreciate it. Thank you. What I like to do, James, is I always like to start all these interviews off with how I came to know the person, whether on a personal level, professional, what have you. And I have it written down. It was in 2023 in June, and it was for Windy City Pro Wrestling, which is where a lot of the wrestlers that are on my channel I've come to know because it's very very local. It's literally whether it's in Sycamore, it's like 5 minutes from my house. DeKalb, it's like maybe 15. So that's where I've known a lot of them. And it was 2023, and you were tagging with a man under a mask named Gran Turino or
Yes.
Truino, and you were
Yes.
fighting the top guns. And it was the first time I saw you, so I didn't know what to expect. I'm just thinking, okay, typical heel. He's doing the whole spiel. I'm going to insult your town. I remember since we're Chicagoland, you talked about how our pizza sucked and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking, okay, this guy's good because I'm a fan of a shit talker. That's what draws me in. I love the shit talking heels. You know what I mean? And I was also thinking to myself, okay, I don't like to use the terms, when talking to a wrestler, but he's doing the cheap heat. But I can respect that. And then it was a couple months later, and it was really cool because it was out actually my birthday. It was at Monster Bash, October 2023. And this is where I really became to really like you as a fan. You were facing Damian Fenrir. And I told you this like in a personal Facebook messages. This is where you looked like you were more comfortable in your role because you had a great match with Damian. This is where you and Alexander Moss, your relationships started in the company. And he came out, got you disqualified. And then you came out with him in his match later. And this is where I really started to like you because you were doing the cheap shots behind the referee's back. You know what I mean? To get him. And you were doing that. And you had this, shit eating grin on your face. You were laughing, smiling. You were really getting into in my opinion, the heel role. And I'm like, this is somebody I'm going to pay attention to because I go to the personalities first. And then as you started becoming a regular, I was really enjoying that. Plus, seeing how a lot of times your matches to me aren't always the same because you're always debuting something different. You're always improving. You're always, having a different type of move debut or just the way you're doing like an uppercut or something like that. So that's how I came to know you, James.
Hey man, I appreciate that a lot, man. And honestly, like you're definitely a 1,000% right. Like when I did that pizza promo, that
Yeah.
was given to me. Like somebody told me to say that. So like
Uh-huh.
my very first live promo, I didn't
Mhm.
know what to say. And honestly, I wasn't even supposed to cut a promo, but I forgot what happened in the back. I forgot what happened, but I think the show was running behind or something. Where like
It
they
might have been. I think it was running like maybe like a half hour or at least 20 minutes behind. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, something like that. They needed somebody to go out there and talk, and they saw that I cut promos online and stuff, and like they just put me in that predicament. And the Top Guns, they're great workers. I love working with them, especially Eric Fallen. And
Yep.
he's honestly a best friend to me, and I worked him at my own promotion, League of Champions.
Okay.
They both gave me the idea of what to say, and like I said, that's when I was kind of like not comfortable, but comfortable at the same time. If that makes any sense. I was still
Yeah.
very, very green. I'm still green to this day. And then, like you said, with the Damian Fenrir match, I was definitely way more comfortable because at that point, I was wrestling even more out of state. I went to
Mhm.
Alabama, I went to Wisconsin, and so many other places. So by the time I went back to Windy City, I got a little bit more comfortable. Not 100%, but just
Mhm.
a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's what I really liked because, and I think maybe it's because you weren't on the microphone. You were just, hey, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna be the bad guy. I'm gonna, hit the good guy. When the ref's not looking. And what I like about heels, especially when they're doing that type of stuff, is not just they're doing it to win, they're doing it and they're enjoying it. They know they're caught, because the fans were yelling at the ref and you're just smiling at them and, shrugging your shoulders. There's nothing you can do type of thing. And that's what I really enjoy about you, because I've said it to you before we went live, is one thing I really enjoy is your interaction with the fans. Now, I had that little intro with you with how much my daughter hates you, because for everyone who doesn't know, James is part of a group called the Natural Order, and at least in the DeKalb Sycamore area, everybody hates them but me. You know what I mean? Because I love the heels that are good on the stick, like you and Moss are, or I just want like the cocky ones like Roddy. You know what I mean? Or like the Diamond. He's just there to beat you up and leave. You know what I mean? Those are my type of things. And what I always appreciate about you is you and the rest of the order is you guys appreciate the regular fans, the ones you see there all the time and stuff like that. And you appreciate me for cheering you. And now that you figured out that she was my daughter, you'd always put in that extra effort to tease her a little bit more. I remember one time we were backstage. I think it was during intermission. You're like, "Where are you sitting at?" "Well, I'm over here in the corner. I'll try to make my way over there by you." You know what I mean? And then you and Roddy were on the ground, and she was sitting next to me. And I remember, I was saying, "James, get up, get up. I'm trying, man. Hey, Roddy, what do you think of that girl's shirt over there? It's ugly. I hate purple." Stuff like that she really gets a kick out of. And she wanted me to bring this up to you. The last time you really picked on her was she had a Calvin Coco shirt. She was
Oh,
she was throwing it up. She was holding it up in your face, and I knew something was up because she just bought it. It was Calvin's first time back in a long time, and she says, "I know James hates Calvin, so I'm gonna hold it up and shove it in his face." I'm like, "Okay, just be prepared." James likes to pick on you a little hard. She's like, "That's fun." So it's funny because this is also audio, so I'm going to describe it as best as I can. She's holding it up, like in front of her, and she's shaking it and teasing you, and you snatch it out of her hands, and you throw it on the ground, and you stomp on it like you're stomping out a cigarette, and then you and then you pick it up and you twirl it like a towel, and you floss yourself. And people know what I mean by flossing yourself. And then you just toss it behind her, and she just looks at you, and she's like, "Great, I can't wear that. It's got James Fury DNA on it."
did she
You
throw it
know?
away? Did she throw it
Oh, no,
away?
she's got it. She was just saying that in the heat of the moment. She wears it all the time. But that's what I really love about you. What is it about you that makes it? Do you look forward to those ones that hate those fans that pick on you a little more than normal because they're there all the time? Do you? And like myself, who cheer you, like, do you look forward to not just the action in the ring, but the interaction with the fans?
Yeah, like honestly, like this might come off as a hot take, but like honestly, the part that I look forward to the most is the
Mm,
interaction with the fans because,
really?
like what Casey Navarro said, without the fans, we are nothing. Without
Mm-hmm,
that fan connection, without the crowd getting behind the actual match itself, then what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like you guys make the magic. We
mm-hmm,
just do the part in the ring and the interaction, but you guys are the most important part of this. Like just think about Jey Uso, right?
mm-hmm.
And then Jey Uso, without the fans doing yeet, yeet, yeet,
Yeah.
what is it? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's that connection, man. But like to go back to what you were saying, it's like that moment with the Calvin Coco shirt. It's like I'm impromptu, like thinking in that moment, like, what should I do? Like, should I just
Mm-hmm,
grab the shirt, or like, should I just like keep on walking and just keep on pushing? I'm just like, you know what?
mm-hmm.
Fuck it. Why the fuck not? I'm gonna just grab this shirt and just toss it off somewhere
Yeah.
because she gives me that extra attention. So that's why I did it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't keep trash talking and doing all this other stuff, like okay, like I gotta do it now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I appreciate. Like I couldn't tell you who you were against, but you were chopping them, and those are the things that as a fan I hate the chops only because of how loud it is, and like we can feel it. You know what I mean? The chops to the chest. But there's one time you chopped somebody twice, and then I'm cheering you on. I say, "James, one more," and then you literally look and like you point right at me. He's like, "Only for you," and then you do it. So
I
that
think that was my
interaction,
match against Ritas Atlas.
it might have been. And that's what makes it fun. Like as a fan, that's what I always tell people is if you're not a wrestling fan, that's okay. If you go and just see how, because it's not just WWE where it's 35 minutes of talking in an hour and then you have one match. I said there's the matches, but it's also there's more interaction with these wrestlers, and that's how why I recommend independent pro wrestling over the I hate to say big leagues, you know what I mean? No offense, but I hate to say it's because of the interaction. You're so close with the wrestlers, you can interact more. It's more on a personal level, and that's what makes it more fun. Because, like I told you, the first time I took my daughter, she didn't want anything to do with wrestling. She didn't
Oh
want to
wow.
go. Yeah, she didn't want to go. She said, "Dad, this is boring." By the time it was done, she's like, "I can't wait to go again." And that's why I always say, reach out to your independent pro wrestlers because you might have a moment like you snatching the shirt or something like that. Or wasn't there an incident where someone had one of your trading cards and ripped it up in front
Yes,
of you?
yes. I'm not gonna lie, that broke my heart, bro. I'm like, geez, like that was one of those moments where, like, obviously in the moment I had to like hide that because I'm the bad guy, but I'm just like, damn, just ripped my trading card. Oh, that was good because I wasn't expecting it and it was perfect. I wish I had like a video of it. Maybe I do, I don't know, but I would love to post that as a reel and just like watch it go viral or something.
Well, what you say it broke your heart, but is it a little bit of like maybe like okay, I'm doing my job right. I'm getting
No,
this kid
yeah,
to yeah
yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Like when I mean, bro, break my heart, like just in a funny way. You know what I mean? I'm
yeah
like, damn. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But it definitely I got a kick out of it, loved it, and I would do it all over again.
That's what I really love. This I'm not gonna lie, this interview was a little hard for me to do research because you haven't at least done many interviews that I've been able to find. But what I did find was I thought it was interesting. We're not going to talk about it too much, but you actually got started doing backyard wrestling before you became a pro wrestler.
Yes.
Now, were you a fan of wrestling then, or was it just hey, I'm just going to go roughhouse with my friends, for a while?
Yeah, I was always a fan of wrestling since 2012. The very
Okay.
first match I ever seen was Great Khali versus Randy Orton. I
Ooh.
know a lot of people that's like so random,
Uh
but
huh.
that was my very first match that I ever saw, bro. Like everybody else saw like Batista and like so many of these crazy matches, but all I saw was just a random SmackDown match of Great Khali versus Randy Orton. But it was fun. But since then, I started doing backyard wrestling from like 2015 or 2016 all the
Mm-hmm.
way to 2020, where that's when I found out that the House of Truth was nearby, which
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea about until some of my backyard buddies told me. And
Mm-hmm.
that was ran by Truth Martini, which is now known as Grind Time Wrestling Academy. And
Okay.
when I knew that I was going to go train and become a professional wrestler, I wrapped up my backyard wrestling career and had my final match in Ohio and just that was a great match. I will never forget where I came from because a lot of those guys that did backyard wrestling,
Uh-huh.
they always forget where they came from and just like, oh, it's backyard wrestling. I'm like, no, bro, look at the Hardys. They did backyard wrestling.
Yep.
And on the WWE Network, they literally have the in the montage, the footage, like their old days. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget where I came from. Even to this day, I'll still post up my backyard clips because it has a special place in my heart that
Mm-hmm.
not everybody will understand but me.
Was it kind of how much of a culture shock was it really? Because it's going from friends in the backyard, doing what they think is the proper way to do it, to actually going to an official school and learning how to do the back bumps, how to properly slam someone safely, without hurting yourself or them, and stuff like that. Was it that big of a culture shock? And was there ever a moment where you were just like, nah, fuck this. This isn't for me, type of thing.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like way before I actually started training under Truth Martini, I
Hmm.
did a crash course training in North Carolina. Uh,
Okay.
it was from I don't know what you call it. I'm just gonna say a crash course training for North Carolina, where I was just like I was hitting the roads, I was doing all these things and stuff, and I don't know, like a part of me was just like, I don't know. Like I wanna keep doing this, but then at the same time it's like, damn, it was like humbling, you know? I'm just
Hmm.
like, I don't know. I'm like, damn, did I just get humbled, bro? But then that's when I was like, fuck it, and then I went to the House of Truth, and it was a piece of cake for me, honestly, bro. Like I think I was in my own head, honestly. But I went through it. A lot of people thought I wasn't gonna make it, even
Hmm.
like the 12 weeks that I did. But I made it, and I'm here now. You know,
Yeah, and so and you've only been wrestling, correct me if I'm wrong,
3 years.
four, 3 years? Yeah, I knew it was less than five. And one thing that I really appreciate you is you're not afraid to go anywhere and everywhere to get a booking. Like you're based, where I think you live in Ohio, right?
Michigan.
Michigan, my bad. But Michigan, Illinois, you just recently freaking went to Canada, dude. You know what I mean? And I think that that's really cool how because it's a hard life. People don't really realize, you have to deal with, get the best pay. You put the miles on. Sometimes it's time away from family, time
Yeah.
away from friends. Sometimes you got to deal with bullshit like car breaking
A lot of
down.
bullshit, bro. A lot of
Yeah.
I dealt with a lot of bullshit early on, and still to this day, honestly, that's the wrestling business for you. Just a bunch of bullshit, man.
Well, you don't have to name any names, anything specifically. Like, was there any incident as you were starting that you're like, okay, like kind of like, I asked you with the training, was there anything where you're like, nah, this isn't for me? You know what I mean? Like whether it's, like you said, you don't have to name names, but like maybe an old timer,
um, I
being
would say
rough with you, car breaking down, loneliness, anything like that.
I would say like I'm not gonna name any names or anything like
Okay.
that, but
Right.
just early on, that was my darkest path. Like that was my darkest path, and like the darkest point of my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, at that point, like I'm still young. I'm only
Right.
22 years old, but at
Right.
that point, I thought like I already didn't face my demons. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I went through everything. I lost my hair.
Mm-hmm.
I got bullied in high school and shit. But then I'm just like, pro wrestling happened, and then I lost so many friends, even
Mm-hmm.
in the business and out the business. A lot of
Yeah.
people changed as I was growing. I'm watching everybody else change in front of me, and not only that, I've dealt with a lot of fucked up situations within the business, like vets just guiding me in the wrong direction, telling me this, that. It just left me very confused in the end and just didn't know what the fuck to do because when you first start, you don't know who to listen to. You don't
Right.
know what advice is good or what advice is going to just fucking put you off in a fucking whole different direction that you didn't even think you're going to be going. I
Mm-hmm.
like I like what Cross said where he was like, I watched all of his stuff. I love him, and he was like, you don't put somebody behind the wheel of your car.
Yeah.
It's gonna go right off the rails, and that's how I felt early on, bro. I'm trusting everybody else to drive the car,
Mm-hmm.
and we just went off the rails that
Yeah.
quickly. So just that's my upbringing in the business, and the theory, it honestly, all that crazy fucked up shit, it honestly motivates the theory because the theory is an entity within
Mm-hmm.
myself. The
Mm-hmm.
theory comes from a real place. This isn't a gimmick. It
Right.
isn't a character. It comes from a real place that I just turned into a character. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like the theory is what we all feel. The theory is what everybody has within them that they want to unleash, but they choose
Right.
not to or are afraid to.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to crash out. We all have crashed out at some point because of everything that we've all went through.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us are facing some kind of demon within us. Everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
So the theory, whether I'm a good guy or I'm the bad guy, the heel that's telling everybody go suck, oh, your t-shirt, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because I'm what you all are at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shout out to Patrick in the chat. He's here. He's someone I'm gonna probably hook you up with because he also likes to do interviews and he's never interviewed a pro wrestler and he wants to dip his toes into that water.
Oh,
So
I would love to, bro. Any interview, I would love to do, man. Like I'm not one of those pro wrestlers that's bougie. Like, oh, how many subscribers you got? Your
yeah.
platform. I'm not like that, bro. Any platform, I'm down to do. I don't care any wrestling show. I don't care if it's 500 people, one fan in there. I will do it. I don't care. I'm not bougie.
Yeah. One thing I really want to that I thought was interesting is you've gotten a lot more comfortable on the microphone. And when you're on the clock, that's what I like to, when I say with the wrestlers, and you're on the clock, there is no it looks like there's no nervousness, there's no fear when you're talking to people. You're being yourself. But I did notice this, and you did bring it up. I know you had some self. you were self-conscious a lot with yourself, losing your hair at an early age. I did hear in an interview you did when you were still doing the backyard stuff, you started out with a mask because you weren't confident in the way you looked, physically. How does that James Fury, the one who is worried about losing his hair and how his face looks, how did that evolve to the one now who literally just doesn't give a shit?
Um,
And you can and you I can feel the confidence a lot of the times. It's not just the smirk and stuff like that. It's just the way, you do have a little bit of a swagger when you're out with the fans, but you do seem a lot more confident in yourself. How did that happen? Like, when was it like, all right, enough of this self-pity bullshit. Let's stop and get to it.
um, Man, to be honest with you, like, damn, you hit me hard with that one, bro. Like, damn, you just did dig. Oh shit.
Well, I know a lot of
Yeah,
wrestlers, they also get tired of the same old fucking questions too. You know what
yeah,
I
I
mean?
get tired of it, bro. Yeah, I was wrestling under a scream mask.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I was wrestling under a scream mask when I first started because everybody in school was telling me I was ugly. So, and I had a lot of acne on my face at the time. So
Mm-hmm.
I wrestled under a mask, and then eventually I started getting more confident in my looks, and I started wrestling without the mask, and
Mm-hmm.
I had the high top throw and everything. And I had a great time doing it, even though everybody in my school were just like, "Oh, that's gay. Why are you doing it?" All the wrestlers that I was getting for my backyard wrestling stuff was just people. I was just asking random people like that I did not know. Hey, you wanna do a backyard wrestling video? And that confidence that I have today, I think is just something where just like I was forced to grow up really fast at a
Mm-hmm.
young age, and all the crazy shit that's happened to me really forced me to like get that confidence. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like it's like I always like to compare myself to Batman a lot because this might sound crazy or fucked
No,
up.
good.
It's some real shit.
Mm-hmm.
If Batman's parents never died, there will be no Batman. You know what
Right.
I mean? So if everything that's happened to me in my life never happened, you wouldn't get no Fury. Because if you look back before I became a pro wrestler,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't Fury. I was somebody else, like a whole different other gimmick. Like I was somebody else, smiling all the time and stuff. But then once I became a pro wrestler, that was by the time I heard it. I went through a lot of depression and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I can channel without all that depression, without all that pain and suffering. What theory can I really channel?
Mm-hmm.
What theory can I show the fans? There won't be no theory if I didn't go through all that. You know what I mean? So that's how I got that confidence.
That's, it's like a trial by fire. I'm the same way. Like, everyone always asks that question, and I never ask. Especially in these interviews. Is there anything you would do differently? Back then, because if you change just one thing, this won't be your present won't be the present that you have, no matter what. Like, I look at, we'll peel the curtain back a little bit. My mom had a stroke back in 1999, and I at that time, my dad was her caregiver, and I was the one bringing in the money. If that didn't happen, I wouldn't learn how to be responsible with money because I was just out of high school, dude. I had credit cards. I was buying shit that I didn't need. You know what I mean? But that helped me budget and stuff like that. And now, as a father, I got a 13-year-old. You got a budget. You know what I mean? Clothes, food, bills. So
Yes.
if that bad thing that didn't happen to me didn't happen, if I said, if she didn't have her stroke, I don't even know if I would have met my wife. You know what I mean? And then if I didn't meet my wife, my daughter wouldn't be here. So I 100% agree with you that, yeah, you got to deal with those tough times because it makes us the men we are today.
Yes. Yes. Agreed, man. It's like even like right now, like I have my own house.
Mm-hmm.
That goes into the same conversation of just being forced to grow up early because
Yep.
now I have my own house. I now have to deal with real life problems, real life situations. There was even a time where I was kind of down bad financially, and this was the first time I ever. It was the first time I ever had to rethink a booking because a lot of
Really?
bookings we don't make anything, bro. We don't make anything. We make
Right.
$50 or less, or sometimes free, bro. And that
Yep.
was one time I had to be like, the hotel costs, gas costs. I don't know. I'm gonna have to pull out, bro. But
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, I was able to figure something out, and we were able to get there and not have to come out of all that money. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that just goes to show you that just when you have all these responsibilities, it definitely forces you to definitely step up your game and just be more of an adult, you know, and saving
Hmm.
your money, like you said, you know, like it forces you to have, you know.
Yeah. I got, and so now that you've only been wrestling 3 years and you're going all over the United States. And to me, it sounds like a big deal when you technically went international. What was it like, finally getting to Canada? You know what I mean? Spreading, showing your work out there. How was that? Was that a big culture shock? Was that another, like, you know, box to
Going
check on your list type of thing?
Yeah, I call it the revenge tour, where I just go
Right.
to every state and just conquer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, I went to this promotion to NCG that I had my eyes on for a very long time, ever since they started. And you know, the opportunity came, and I wanted to show them what I could do. And that's really it. It was a great experience. They have great footage, very professional, and I would love to go back. You know, if just yeah, it was great, and I look forward to going anywhere. Anywhere.
Mm-hmm. How did you hook up with Windy City Pro Wrestling? Because first off, if for people who don't know, that actually has a huge history back to the early 2000s, and a lot of people have come from there. I know. Oh my gosh, I'm having a brain. Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels has gone through there. We now know. Damien Fenrir is with the NWA.
Yep.
Ben Bishop, he is everywhere. You know what I mean? Teaming with Jeff Jarrett
Love Ben Bishop, man.
and stuff like that. How did you get a hold of them? Did Windy City get a hold of you? Was it
No,
one of those?
they actually hit me up first.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Gran Trueno, we were just a last minute kind of booking where like
Mm-hmm.
somebody else canceled or couldn't make it, got injured, something like that, and they needed somebody last minute, and we had the weekend open. And we just said, fuck it. You know, that was when we were like, I think 1 year in, and we're just like, bro, why the fuck not? You know, let's fucking bet on ourselves and go there. Me and Gran went there together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's now you've been pretty much a regular for at least the last couple of years. Which is
Yeah.
which is great. The natural order is the stable to hate. And I think that helps when we have these ongoing storylines. And what I do like with the natural order, which is fun, is they kind of have this freebird rule with the
Yes.
tag team titles. Anybody can defend them at any time. Um, how did you hook up with Roddy and Alexander Moss? Was that just another, hey, you guys were at the same place at the same
Yeah,
time?
kind of in a way. It was kind of like that where we just
Because
were
you
all
guys
there.
gel really well together. You really
Yeah,
do.
like it was just something just random, but it worked. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I love the natural order, but I will say that I'm on two sides of the coin with that.
Mm-hmm.
This
No, go ahead.
character is fuck, but I would love, just based off the fans of Windy City, I would
Mm-hmm.
love to explore the idea of me being a good guy. On top of that,
Mm-hmm.
I also have dreams and aspirations of being a world champion one day for WCPW, because
Mm-hmm.
my thing is, whatever home promotion that I work for,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be at the top. I want to be at the top and try my best to get there. If I can't, it is what it is. At least I tried. But that's my goal. I remember Cody said something like that
Mm-hmm.
along those lines. Like, if you don't inspire to be at the top, then like, the fuck are you doing? Something like that, I think. But you know what I mean? Those are the two. Those are my two things and two goals for Windy City.
I'll just say this: all it takes is a little arguing inside the faction, which we had, last show, and
Yeah.
someone could do a face turn. It doesn't mean James Fury can't do a face turn. And I,
Yeah.
I will say this, even though you are the fans people love to hate, what I really like about your social media is you recently uploaded one too, and I made that fun comment. James Fury's for the kids. You'll be teasing them and talking shit when you're on the clock, but you have no problem taking pictures with kids. They have no problem taking pictures with you. So there is that little bit of the baby face in there, and I guarantee you can make it work if you run with it.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, especially for Windy City, it's the right crowd. You guys know me and see me damn near every show that I'm there. I
Uh
definitely
huh.
can work. I feel like like I said, man, I've been healed ever since I got there, and since I've gotten more experience since then. And for my own promotion, I made myself a face so I can get better and learn to work more as a face and feel more comfortable as a face.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel like I have what it takes to be one of Windy City's top faces for sure, well, without a doubt, for sure. If
Oh yeah.
given the opportunity, yes, for sure, without a doubt.
I guarantee it. You know what? I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know you had your own promotion. Can we talk about that a little bit? You know
Ring
where
of
it's
Champions.
based?
You know the place where I wrestled Eric Fallen?
Yes.
That's my promotion.
No shit.
Yes, I had. I love Eric Fallon a lot, and I had to book him. For my promotion, we started like late 2024.
Mm-hmm.
My business partner is Chaz. We both work together. We're a great team. His wife Jen. I love Ring of Champions, man. Like I've gotten a lot of opportunities from there, and I'm able to book all the guys I like. Like I like to be around because the environment there, bro, is just like all these guys that I fucking love. You know, so it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. We're about to have Richard Holiday November 30th for this show.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, so that's going to be amazing. But yeah, bro, it's been a blast.
I want to talk about that match because you know me, I'm a big fan of Eric Fallon. I'm a good friend of his, like you are. I'm so happy that there's at least some video footage of that no DQ match that you guys had because you guys went all around. You guys pulled no punches. Do you have to prepare differently for something like, because you guys are professional, you know how to take the hits properly, but do you have to prepare differently for a no DQ match, something like that, than like a traditional one, or you just like cross your fingers and hope nobody gets hurt?
Oh, it's kind of the same thing for real. Just like we figure out what you want to do, what you want to take, if you want to get put to the table or not, what's realistic or not to do. Just there's a lot of things that goes into it for sure. I will say that match, I fucked up my leg a little bit to where like the next couple of days, it was hard to walk on it. But then afterwards, it was good. It was definitely good. It was off of a spot that I actually called where I wanted him to give me an attitude adjustment. I wanted the wooden tables. They're like super hard and cannot break. Though we wasn't trying to break it, but my leg kind of hit first before my body, and I was like, oh fuck. Like I remember taking that move all the time back in my backyard days. But that was on the trampoline spring, so that was a little bit easier for me. But for that shit, yeah, my leg hit first, and I was like, oh fuck, you know. But yeah, I love Eric Fowler, man. I miss him, and I miss him very much.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit. We're pulling for him. He's got some stuff going on. Let's give him a little bit more praise in case he sees it. What is it about him that you love when it comes to gelling with in a match? Because I don't know, it was the same Monster Bash where I told you you were getting confident in your heel work with Moss and stuff like that. He was fighting like it was a 2-on-1 Nate Bach, and I can't remember who his Nate Bach's partner was, but it was a no DQ match, and he walks out and he yells, "I need a kid," and he literally grabs my daughter out of the crowd and uses her as a battering ram, against his opponent type of thing. He's one of those guys that, like you, knows that the fans are why you guys are there, why you guys to a lesser extent have the career, because like you said, if we don't buy the tickets, you guys
Without
don't
the
get
fans, we are nothing.
Yeah, what is it about Eric Fallon that that you really like performing against him, and as someone that you can book, because you own the Fed, you gotta book him and be happy with the people you work with and that work for you.
Eric Fallon is somebody like he's a vet. He's been doing this for a long time. And he was one of those vets, one of the many vets that I worked that made me really feel comfortable to work with him. He let me shine. He let me do what I wanted to do. He heard me out. He listened to me. We would put the match together, and he took care of me in there. While I'm beating his ass as a heel, he's feeding me spots to do to him. And I'm just like, at that time I wasn't really used to that. I'm just like, oh shit, like he's giving me like. I remember one time he was in the corner, he just like, alley-oop powerbomb. I'm like, oh shit, okay, lift your ass up, powerbomb. You know what I mean? I've never done that move before. I'm just like, I might just add this to my arsenal now that he just said that. Overall, this is a little bit kind of pulling the curtain back even more, but he's actually the reason why I even became tag champs. I think he's the reason. I believe he's the reason why I was even in natural order, to be honest with you, because on his way out, he he kind of put the good word in for me. You know what I mean? And he said I was a really good guy to like put it on. I don't know how true that's what he told me, but I'm gonna take
Mm-hmm.
his word for that. I appreciate him a lot, and I thank him for a lot of things, man. He's put me over to other people. She speaks very highly of me to others, and others tell me about it and stuff. And I just recently, maybe like a couple months ago, I did this like kind of documentary for him. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a this documentary.
Same here.
Yeah, so I look forward to whenever he drops that. I look forward to it. And I hope
Mm-hmm.
he's doing well, man. I love him to death, bro. I can't wait to book him again, bro.
Yeah, one thing about him that I know he doesn't sugarcoat it. So I bet you he meant what he said when he tried to give you the shine, to Windy City in the natural order. But one thing I like about him, you can tell is what you're pretty much saying is he's not selfish in the
He's
ring.
not. A lot of people in this business are selfish, bro, and they are all in it for themselves, bro. Like I feel like we all should eat together, bro. Like we're
Mm-hmm.
all a big team. We're all the same. We all eat, sleep, shit, breathe the same. You know what I mean? So it's just like, why not help everybody?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do with RLC. RLC's the door is open for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. The door is open to everybody as long as you're a good person. All I care about, and like for me personally, the in ring is just only part of it, bro. Like
Right.
as long as you a good person and have great intentions, bro, you're part of the show. That's all that fucking matters to me. Character, working the crowd, those things, man, and just like I said, the in ring kind of comes later, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So just I was honestly even told that at one point at a tryout where they were just like, bro, like the in ring work just comes like it just comes like we just care about the character and shit. Like
Yep.
I'm like, wow, wow. Not saying I'm stuck in the ring or something, but you know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And I'm going to put this up here. Patrick just said, um, I think good word of mouth can help advance a wrestler's career. And it is, being in the right place at the right time, having
yes,
someone like Eric promote you, be like, hey. And another thing I wanted to talk about you is you like, we mentioned, shout out to Ben Bishop. You are super big on social media. You are one of the biggest in my circle of wrestlers that I like to follow and I talk to, not just for interviews, you know what I mean? Just personal stuff, checking in. You are one of the biggest, and it's not negative when I say this, self promoters of yourself when it comes to Instagram. You now have a YouTube channel up, the Facebook, all that stuff. You, is that something that like? Because I'm not very good at self promotion. Is that something that just kind of came natural because you're a good shit talker. When you're in character stuff like that, or is that something you had to gradually get into and realize, hey, because for me, I always feel like I'm annoying people when I share videos or
no,
I'm constantly
no.
doing stuff like that. Have you ever thought that, or are you just like, hey, this is how social media should be done? The right person sees this, I can get a booking anywhere, type of thing.
One thing, the first thing I want to say is you're never annoying, man. You like I remember watching this podcast video of Killer Cross before
Okay.
he got signed, and I don't know it word for word, but I do know what he said. He said something along the lines where like you have to promote yourself because nobody else is gonna promote you like you promote yourself. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and ever since I took that, because before I got in the wrestling business, I was doing a lot of research on like a lot of shit, like all my favorite wrestlers, especially Killer Cross is number one on that list. I followed everything that he does. So by the time I got to the business, I just applied that to myself, and just now more than ever, I've
Mm-hmm.
been trying to post every single day because I want this shit that fucking bad. I want the whole world to see me. Do you know who Tommy Invincible is?
I don't. It might ring a bell, but maybe if I saw a picture of him, I could look him up
So,
later.
so Tommy Invincible, I remember watching him post every single day.
Mm-hmm.
He like in these high school gyms, the bingo halls, in front of 5 people, every video, and he blows up out of nowhere. John Cena posts him. Fucking Cody Rhodes follows him
Really?
on Instagram. Cody Rhodes comments on his stuff.
Wow.
All these people in the business know who Tommy Invincible is. Tommy Dreamer, he's wrestling on
Mm-hmm.
all of these bigger indies because why? Because he's relatable, one, and two, he posts every day. He's very consistent, and he's a great baby face. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
know who he is because he reminds us that he's still there. So when I'm seeing people like that, Ben Bishop, the veteran Jack Vaughn, Richard
Mm-hmm.
Holliday, It's
Mm-hmm.
like all these guys are like they're posting every single day on social media and getting these new fans, all these
Right.
new fans and being relatable. So I'm gonna do the same thing. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna if I have to promote myself better than everybody else that promotes me, then I'm gonna do that. If I have to go out my way to do all the things that I do to promote myself, then yes, I'm going to do that because you have to treat yourself like a superstar. And if you do that, everybody else will see that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point. I already posted something before I hopped on here. You know what I mean? So just you have to just be your own promoter, man. That's the
Mm-hmm.
best thing. Any pro wrestler should be their own promoter and promote themselves every single day. It's not cocky.
Right.
It's not like you're not annoying anybody. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? One of the best quotes that Triple H said is literally like, when you see that opportunity, you grab it, you take it, you take life by its throat, and you make it give you everything you want and screw everybody else. So when you're posting, screw everybody else and think about you because you need to take you first.
Mm-hmm. Wow, yeah, makes a lot of sense. And one thing I do like is one of my favorite things that you recently posted is you do show some behind the scenes stuff. You were talking about how how to build a character and stuff like that. But you also talk about how sometimes you knew a show was happening and you just showed up because cancellations happen. And the promoter knows you're a worker. Hey, we're in a tight spot. Can we get you a job or get you a booking type of thing? But one of my favorite ones is I don't know who you were talking to, but I think you're wearing a jacket with like maybe like a fuzzy boa or something like that, and you were talking about how you want to make yourself stand out because that makes it memorable. You said something paraphrasing like you see all of these people dressed in the same black t-shirt and jeans type of thing, but they remember you because I think you literally says, "I'm the only motherfucker wearing something like this."
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
I see a lot of guys wear the same black dress pants and black dress shirt, and like that's cool. It's professional, very professional. But my thing is, I've always wanted to be different. I
Mhm.
always inspire to be different. I want to be that guy amongst a lot of sheep that just like you. Oh shit! Like you're forced to acknowledge me because of what
Mhm.
I'm wearing. Simply
Mhm.
just by changing the way you look at things, changing your mindset, and the way you look can get a whole lot of eyes on you, just like that. You know, like when people look at me, I'm the guy with the red fucking fur jacket.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the guy with all the chains hanging down his fucking pants and shit. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like it's my style. It's not nothing forced, nothing like that. But I like to definitely. I'm a big believer in alternative wear. You know,
Mhm.
stuff that you don't really see people wearing on a regular. That's me. You know,
Yep.
so that's my big thing. And sometimes sometimes I might so for me, for certain shows, I like to just blend it in. I have an
Mhm.
outfit for just blending in where I don't want to be noticed too much,
Okay.
and I have the outfits where I want to stand out. So I have my days.
That's cool. I got kind of something we touched on earlier, but Patrick, like I said, he's the one I'm going to hook you up with. He's dipping his toes into interviewing wrestlers. Um, he asks how important are mic skills on the independent level.
Um, shit, man. I feel like there's so many different answers for that question, but I do believe that I want to start talking more on the mic. I
Mm-hmm.
want to challenge myself and be in talking more on the mic because I feel like for reels, I feel like that'd definitely work out like great. Like I feel like that's more likely to go viral than like the actual in ring work. So I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely say it's important because that's like think about all the greatest WWE wrestlers. They're all the greatest talkers. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like they all can talk on that mic and hold their own. So I do think it's important.
Okay. Here's one thing I really had a question about. You recently posted you were getting makeup put on, and then you were working on a zombie movie or something or a video. What was that all about?
It was a short film. It was an opportunity that just came out of the blue. Honestly, I pulled
Mm-hmm.
that one on my ass. Honestly, and with the yeah, it was just a random short film that I saw pop up on my recommendation. I clicked it, and I met the producer and everything, and one thing led to another. Honestly, bro, like I plan on doing more stuff like that. I want to do more things in my genre, like the
Mm-hmm.
James Fury genre, like horror stuff.
Okay.
Like maybe I'm like a serial killer, like stuff that I know I can excel in. Like you're not gonna see me being some comedic character or something like that.
Right.
Although I'm open to it, but I prefer to do stuff within my genre.
Yeah. And that's cool. And here's a good thing again from Patrick. He says doing interviews like these will improve those mic skills in his opinion. And it helps you get in front, helps you get confident in front of the camera because it's a different type of camera than, someone filming the wrestling show. So I hope this leads to more opportunities, man. Short, just because it's a short film doesn't mean it's not going to go anywhere because I'm in the horror community and it's nothing but fan films nowadays, man. And these things are getting hundreds and thousands of views. So all it really takes is like you said, the right person seeing it and they like what you do, they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna message this guy to find out who the hell this guy is so I can talk to him
And
better. That
now that while we're talking about films and stuff, there's
yeah.
a small possibility that I might be a part of this DC short film where
Okay.
I would be playing this I forgot his name. He's like this sergeant or something like that, General Elling or something like that. The character is usually this would be technically a race swap. The character is supposed to be white, so this would be interesting. It's like Electro. Electro's supposed to be white, but they made him black in
It worked.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So
it worked with Jamie Foxx. I'm
it
a
worked.
lot. A lot of people hate it. I enjoy for what it is. The Ben Affleck Daredevil movie. Michael Clark Duncan was the Kingpin.
Yeah,
You know
he
what I mean?
did a great job.
He was great, and not to sound mean, he's blacker than black. You know what I mean? So it
Yeah,
doesn't matter, and,
they
and
the one
race
race
doesn't
swap,
matter.
the one race swap I did not agree with was when they made Albert Wesker from Resident Evil black and bald. That was just, bro, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, that's just because that's the thing. That's just Wesker has an iconic look. You know what I mean? That's
yep,
why it worked for Michael Clark Duncan. He shaved head. He's just a big muscly motherfucker. You know what I
yep.
mean? That's all you needed. Well, James, I pretty much that's all I got for you. Like with the usual questions, I do have two more because we're at 45 minutes. We're almost at an hour. I got two questions that I end the every interview with all my guests. One question is, let's just say you have the weekend to yourself, no bookings, no family at the house. Got it to you all by yourself. You're not hurting for once, getting slammed out all around. What does James Fury do to relax on a weekend when he's got the home to himself? There's no pain from wrestling, none of that. What does James Fury do to relax for a weekend? There's
Um,
no wrong answer.
Honestly, not that much, man. We're all human. I don't have to do anything extraordinary out of this world. I just like to enjoy myself outside of wrestling, just simply doing the simple things like hanging out with the wifey, going out to the movies with her or something like that, playing 2K. Like I don't like to let wrestling consume my whole entire life, whereas
Mm-hmm.
wrestling training, just all that 24/7 because I see what that can do to other people. And I don't want to be like that. I want to have a real life outside of this shit. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, I think that'll keep you sane in this bit in a business like this and just happy overall. So I would just say honestly, like sometimes on a random day, I'm always editing stuff
Okay.
on my social medias. I'm always thinking about ideas. Like I'll even say here, an idea that I'm kind of playing with right now that I'm going to be uploading very soon is I'm going to be explaining people the theory. I'm going to be explaining them like the character all
Okay.
together. Instead of how to become a character, it's going to be me just explaining the backstory of Fury himself, and I'm going to make a
Mm-hmm.
documentary on my YouTube channel. So just that's a day for me outside of wrestling.
That's cool. I'll throw this out there. You said you and the wife you like to go out to the movies. What's your guys' favorite genre movie? What type of movies do you like to go watch, or is it there no preference?
No preference, brother. I'm not gonna lie. We'll watch anything, bro.
What was the last good movie you guys saw together in the theater? Can you
Shit.
think off the top of your head?
I'm definitely not the new Joker movie. I'll tell you that right now. I almost walked out of that. Almost walked out. That was the first movie I almost walked.
Yeah.
Oh god, but Deadpool, Wolverine. It's been a minute since we've been there. We used
Mm-hmm.
to have all of our movies at the house, but
Yeah.
one of the last good ones we watched was Adult Tears. That was like a Tubi movie, I think, on YouTube or something. Really good. And
Okay.
Temptation. That's a Tyler Perry movie. That's
Okay.
a great movie. Both love movies, betrayal, all that kind of stuff. Very interesting. So, like, yeah, those last two movies we watched.
Very cool. Okay, this is the last question. The one question I ask everybody is we don't know when our time is up. You know, it can end in an instant, but let's just say James Fury knows that tomorrow he's going to be gone. Whether he's walking the green mile or however it is, you can plan ahead. There's no wrong answer. What is James Fury's last meal? Now, I've had people be super. There's no limit. I've had, Gavin Alexander, God bless him. He went full course. You know what I mean? Appetizer, meat, blah 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 blah, and drinks are included. But I had my friend Knight. He just said I'd be happy with Thanksgiving turkey and mashed potatoes. And my friend Melissa, she said, "Fuck it, Kraft mac and cheese and strawberry ice cream." There's no wrong
I think
answer.
I'm gonna hold me, bro. I think just a Thanksgiving meal, bro. Like some stuffing, macaroni, the baked beans, fucking ham, and some barbecue chicken, and fucking maybe some orange juice or apple juice, and call it a fucking day.
That's it. James, we talked about your social media. You want to promote any social media channels? How to get a hold of you?
Um, Everything is the same. James Fury. Well, some of them are just James Fury. Some of them are James Fury with the extra Y. So just
Mm-hmm.
put an extra Y there. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I don't know if I already said that, but TikTok as well. And yeah, honestly, whoever wants to bring me on their podcast or just anything at all, just hit me up. I'm open to damn near anything as long as it's reasonable.
Yeah. And shout out to Patrick. Like I said, I'm going to hook you two guys up. He says, great interview tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Look forward to doing work with you.
Yep. Is there any upcoming bookings for yourself or for your promotion that you want to give a shout out? Because this is live now, and I will have the video or the audio uploaded by this weekend. So if there's any upcoming bookings for yourself or just any upcoming shows for your promotion you'd like to throw out there.
November 30th, I have RLC where I'm bringing in Richard Holiday, and then I'm going to be going down to Wisconsin to make a debut for Legacy Pro on Black Friday. And I was supposed to have something this weekend, but it got canceled. And I was supposed to be in Pennsylvania this weekend, but I'm just going to use this weekend to just chill, honestly. But other than that, yeah, that's it. I would say look out for my YouTube channel because I do plan on posting that documentary very soon.
I can't wait, dude. So to anyone listening or watching, I will have all of James's links in the description below. James, again, thank you for everything that you've done, in the pro wrestling world. Thank you for giving me, almost an hour of your time during the week. I know it's tough during the week, with family life and stuff like that, but I do appreciate you sitting down to shoot the shit. And like I've told you, before we went live, I appreciate you helping me with that bond with my daughter. You know what I mean? I said, growing up, pro wrestling was my dad's bond with me. Every Monday night, every WrestleMania, all the pay-per-views, that stuff like that. And after he passed, there really wasn't anything, like, I wasn't interested in wrestling. I didn't care. You know what I mean? But there was the Windy City Pro Wrestling thing popped up on Facebook. I brought my daughter. She became a fan. And with you, with A, your interaction with me being the only one you don't shit talk, and then B, with her, going the extra mile to pick on her a little bit more when you found out she was my daughter, it helps our bond. And like I told you, when she knows that James Fury is announced, she's like, good. Now I can pick on him a little more and be extra mean to him. So I do want to say, man to man, Eric to James, I do appreciate and want to thank you for helping that, because she's 13 now. Like I said, when she's 16, she wants to be doing her own thing. So I do appreciate you helping us become a little closer.
Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. You guys make this happen. You guys made it happen. So thank you, and thank you for helping me be on your platform. Thank you.
Anytime, man. So with that, I am Eric. That is James Fury, and I will have all of his socials. And I really, really can't wait to see that documentary, man. I'm super psyched.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you a lot, man. God bless.
Bless you too, man. So we will see you all in the next stream.